Noel's News! It's Noel's News!
How long fella?
Well, Noel, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good to have you back in this week.
Yeah, that first topic you heard is some dirt.
Do you reckon?
You reckon that when I go down to their daycare centre doing a few jobs, that all those women don't fancy me? You're suggesting that they don't all want the length of weapon pipe?
Oh, Jesus. Do you reckon they do?
I'm be sure of it.
Have you ever
Well-
been with anyone from the daycare centre?
No, I have a full-time job laying pipe at home.
Oh my God.
But like they'd give me the extra cut of tart now. And,
Would they?
oh, and a wink and a smile. They all have a smile for Noel, right?
Man, Noel, right?
No, I get well looked after. But I'll tell you this now. Do you know Vincent Van Gogh,
I've heard of him, yeah.
the painter?
Yeah.
Now, apparently, that's where our local painter Arthur Burke done his apprenticeship. I seen him one day, and he was painting the door of the Chinese takeaway, and he had an old sheet in the ground, keeping the street clean. And I said, "That's very good." And he said to me, "Van Gogh taught me that." Now, I don't know how good a painter this Van Gogh character was, because apparently he was skint, stone broke. Do you know this is what they say about him? But like any painter I know is flat out. Any painter worth his salt. I did a summer with McGee years ago painting.
Did you?
Fucking made some twine by.
Yeah.
Some man for cash by the whole dodge. And like I'd get a whole house done now with the one tin of paint. Cause as your bit goes out of it, you can add a bit of water. And you can start and top it up. And the more it goes down, the more water you add. So the house will be red at the front and pink at the back. And I tell him it's the new style.
Okay.
And I charge him an extra 50 bob. So it's a win-win, you know what I mean? On down neck. So Van Gogh, anyway, he was actually no relation to the horsey crowd. Do you know the big white letters going into Kildare, Goths?
Yeah.
How do you say it? It's like the mart for horses.
Yeah, yeah.
But less chance of fighting your neighbour, like. Okay? So he's no relation to them, apparently. This Vincent Van Gogh fella, right? Now, he was a great man when he was dead. Right? And he's still dead. But he done fuck all when he was alive. Okay? Since he died, his paintings have become wicked valuable, big money. And he is considered, wait till you hear this, the master of post-impressionist painting. Is that like doing the signs over the hairdressers and
I don't think so.
fancy kind of stuff? Fair play to him anyhow, right? He moved down to France. He was looking for a start. He was looking for a bit of work. But the French obviously are a shout of bastards, so it didn't really work out for him. He got very little work. And sadly, the famous, very talented Vincent Van Gogh shot himself in 1890. A great loss to the world, right? He went out into a field and he shot himself in the chest with a handgun.
Jesus.
But it was only a small gun, and it took him 3 days to die.
Jesus.
Fucking Egypt. Now my heart goes out to the man, because he was, you know what I mean? He was a troubled soul.
Yeah.
Do you remember the time he cut off a bit of his own ear?
I heard of it.
You heard about this? Did you hear about this? Yeah.
Good.
He was having a row with another painter, and it must have been over the price of a job or something, I don't know. And he cut off a bit of his own ear, and he delivered it to a brothel that him and your man used to regularly go to.
Jesus.
They would frequent. And he was found the next day by police, totally unconscious. Now that's a fucking session. That man knew how to drink. You're only baby infants compared to that man. Did you ever go on a night out, cut your own ear off and deliver it to a brothel?
No, thank God.
If I could make one critique about Van Gogh, I would say, if I was having a row with a fella, I'd probably prefer to cut his ear off.
That's true, yeah.
Although, if you're going to fight a lad and he cuts off his ear and sends it to you, you know you're in for a fucking scrap, I'll tell you that. You know you're in for a fucking duke, and I'll tell you that, boy. Now, the reason I bring up Van Gogh, after I got a small bit sidetracked there, sorry, but it's because that gun that he shot himself with went up this week for public auction. And it was found 70 years after he pulled the trigger. It was found in a field beside the cottage he was staying in, and it's about the right size and the right age, and it has been fired and all that. So they can't be 100% sure that it's the exact one, but they reckon it is, and it's sold. How much?
100,000.
162,500
Wow.
cash for a gun that doesn't even work. It's rusted away to fuck out in the field.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, like that gun didn't even work when he wanted it to work. It's fucked now. So it was bought by a private collector over the phone. 162 grand for the gun that shot Van Gogh. Some money, ain't it?
Some status, some twine, yeah.
I have the Hurley that broke Joe Keaton's jaw. Not for parting.
Not for parting, no.
No, it's above the mantelpiece at home.
If you got 162,000.
Oh, you can have it. Now, another little story I want to tell you about. You know, a farmer loves nothing more than an old scheme, an old grant.
Yes.
Farmer loves the old grant. If there was a grant going for fucking reptiles, we'd have dragons. Fucking Irish lads, to be honest, lad. Fucking few reptiles around this town.
There is, yeah.
Fucking drinking outside Pat Peters is there. Our fucking EU money going around the town. Fucking reptiles, a lot of them. So in New Zealand, they have a scheme to get lads to hand in their guns, right? Because do you remember in March, a fella went into a mosque and he fucking shooting people, crazy stuff, right?
Yep.
Awful stuff. Like he had a machine gun. What the fuck do you want a machine gun for?
Yeah.
There's no need for it at all. You want to bait a fella if you want to bait him, like. So they've banned machine guns totally, in proper order. And they asked lads, hand in your machine guns. And 700 people did. And then the New Zealand government just made sheep noises, because I think that's all they fucking do out there. Them fuckers, they head throwing sheep, a lot of them. So the government now have a new scheme. They will buy your machine gun back off you for most of what you paid for it. Not a bad deal. And after hearing this, 5,000 lads came out of the woodwork going, actually, I have a machine gun at home under the bed.
Oh my God.
And they'll sell it to you. So the first 700 lads who handed them in for nothing was fair fucking sick. But my question is, what were 6,000 lads in New Zealand doing with fucking machine guns?
It's crazy.
So what are they doing with them? Fighting, you know? I don't know. Every lad must have a fucking machine gun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's scary.
But it's bad news. You can't be letting... Like, what if you get into a row? You come and get a machine gun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, families get into rows. You know? I remember when I first started dating Carmel, I'll tell you, her family were very against it. They were very against it. You see...
Why?
Well, because I was from a poor family.
Okay.
When we were growing up, we had nothing. We had nothing. Do you know what I got? Do you know my 9th birthday? Do you know what my father gave me? A hiding. For not putting enough whiskey in his tea. You've heard of an Irish coffee? Well, that's Tipperary tea.
Tipperary tea.
Father put whiskey in his tea every morning because he hated the neighbours that much. He couldn't bear to look at the neighbours. So he used to get fucking stung every morning. He used to get stunned every morning at breakfast. And he'd be fucking cut going out the driveway. He was a man's man, right? So... her family, Carmen's family, I tell you now, were very against me dating her. Because of that. Her father was against it. Her husband was against it. Her 3 children were... her 3 children were against it.
Took a while there to click with me.
The whole lot of them were against me dating Carmen. You know what I mean? The priest was against it. But as they say, love will find a way.
Yeah.
So, the police in New Zealand said there are 1.2 million legal firearms knocking around New Zealand. Fucking 1.2 million guns that they know about. So, like, that's 1 in every 4 people in New Zealand have a gun. They're not all shooting rabbits, like.
No.
You know what I mean? So mind yourselves. But just that scheme, I thought it was nicely done.
Nicely done.
I thought it was nicely done.
Man, no.
And now, just locally, we have a bit of a notice board. A couple of things.
Yes.
A couple of things I wanted to tell you about.
Lovely.
Pat Farrell is selling a ticket for Bob Dylan concert, and he can't go
Okay. Why?
because he hates Bob Dylan. It's on in Nolan Park, and he mixed up Bob Dylan. He thought it was the Joe McDonough Cup.
Oh,
Yeah, easy mistake.
Easy mistake. Yeah.
But I think Bob Dylan and Neil Young could be starting in a two-man forward line for Offaly. The way things are going next year. Jeez, Offaly are gone bad.
They're gone bad, Noel. Yeah.
Isn't it sad to see?
Not really, no.
I know, I'd love to see Offaly come back some year and win All Ireland now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some year we're not in it. Some year we don't enter, they can win it. Also locally, Tracy's Fruit and Veg Shop is having a summer sale. Real oranges all the way from Lismore. There was a fella in Lismore, County Waterford, growing oranges. That's a fact. Now, I don't know what kind of drugs he's pumping into them, because the neighbours can barely grow fucking weeds down there. He's going around town like the man from Del Monte, right? But anyway, the quote here, it says, real fresh, healthy oranges on sale now. And they also have grapes. And just, I remember the first time I saw a grape. I'll never forget it.
Oh.
That's a fact. My auntie sent us back grapes in the post. She was on a pilgrimage to Medjugorje, out near Croatia. And she came across a bunch of grapes, and she said they were God's little miracle. And she put a bunch of grapes in an envelope, and she posted them back to us. Now, by the time the grapes got to Kilbrine, they were pure poison. But her mother said we had to eat them, or God would be offended. And I said, God don't pay the bills down here, woman. And since that day, I swore on my dead grandfather's grave that I'd never ate another grape. Fact.
Wow.
Now, I'd ate them in a fruit salad. Or, not to spoil the thing, something like that, you know. But just saying to watch out for grapes, you know. So, that is Tracy's Fruit Store. Also, got a call, wanted, German Shepherd pup. Well, he says he wants kind of a half pup, half dog. He doesn't want to have to train the fucker. Only finished training the wife. And he needs a good old guard dog. See, I'm looking for a dog myself too, because I had to get rid of the old Labrador I had. No, I still have Nicky English, the Cocker Spaniel. But I had to get rid of the Labrador.
Why?
He was racist.
What do you mean racist?
Dog was racist. He would only bark when the foreign lads walked past the driveway. I swear to God, any black man that walked past our gate, the dog used to go stone mad. I had to get rid of him. And Joe Murphy, the coal man, came up one day covered in soot. The dog didn't know what to do. The dog did not know what to do. The dog didn't know whether to hate him or not. He said he just fucking ate the shins off Joe just to be sure. I had to get rid of the dog. I know a fucking racist dog knocking on Kilbrine there. So, new dog needed in the Kilbrine area. Also, Mick Hogan is giving guitar lessons from the back of his house on the Clonmel Road. Beginners to advanced. And I'm just going to stop it right there, because if Mick Hogan is a guitar teacher, I'm a Dutchman. I'd sooner swallow a guitar than listen to that fucking grass-eating bastard playing the fucking thing. He wouldn't know good music, that man.
What do you know?
No, it's all boom boom. I'd be more into the bang bang.
Oh.
So to summarise, fuck Mick Hogan. If you'd like to advertise on the notice board, write your advert on the back of a €50 note and send it to Noel News, Tipperary Road in Care. Thank you.
Good man, Noel. Thank you.
That has been this week's notice board.
Thanks a million, Noel. See you next week.
God willing.